listening to Anja Asks Anybody. And today, my guest is Colleen DuVall, writer, cosmologist, philosopher, freak. I'm just inventing more.
I like that.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'll go with that.
I wanted to keep going after writer, so I just started like schooner operator.
Yes, I am a boat person at heart. I'm like the female Captain Quint.
I would believe it. So, yeah, you're a writer and you've been writing for decades.
Yes.
Yes.
This is true.
It's not a very friendly world out there to us writers these days. Do you feel like it's increasingly so, or do you feel it's always the case?
I think it's always been a bit of a struggle. Although I also have dabbled in acting before, and I have to say that I've found more paid work as a writer overall than as an actor. That's even rougher. So there's a bit of that. But yeah, the whole AI thing, not a fan.
No. And I feel like you see it everywhere, and you see everyone trying to replace writers with this very positive, saccharine, excessively informative, but not really informative voice.
Yes, who often gets facts wrong and might spew out some misinformation. Not to say that writers don't ever do that.
We certainly do, but we at least are charming when we do it.
And we'll come back with a disclaimer or editor's note or some sort of correction.
Yes.
Usually.
Yeah, generally, because we have a conscience.
Yes, I don't think AI has a conscience.
Not yet.
Not give it time.
Yeah. So being an actor is harder than being a writer. Do you think there's anything harder than being an actor in the arts? Do you think being a dancer might be worse, or
dancer would be kind of rough. Being I think a singer, musician, if you're one of the band. Now, this isn't to suggest that being a musician isn't also challenging in its own right, but you've got the band around you. You've got a group. If you're just the singer and you're not playing an instrument, you better hope your voice doesn't crack.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. I always think that musicians have it a little rough where there's just so many of them, and then they do a gig and then they walk away with $12 from the door.
Depending on how many people are in the band. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I live with a musician, so I've heard these stories for a long time.
But meanwhile, I feel like musicians are the artists who everyone sees the most and reveres the most.
This is true.
Yes.
This is true.
Yeah. So, what do you do to emotionally survive and physically withstand a world that tries to discourage you from making your creative work? Any fun tricks?
Yes, I'm a big fan of meditation, especially I like the Deepak Chopra app. I like the real short ones early in the morning when I first wake up. Some of them are even only 3 to 5 minutes long. And before I even get out of bed, I can just listen to those. And one of my favorite, I mean, they all have different themes and things like that. And one of them is emotional SOS. And so I'm always going to either, my go-to seem to be angry, sad, worried.
Yeah. Yeah, the essential 3. So I've had meditation apps before. Have you had other meditation apps? Are you able to compare this one to others?
There was another one, and now I'm not thinking of the name of it.
It wasn't Insight Timer, was it?
It had a little cloud with a face on it.
Okay, that's all right. Well, perhaps this isn't as interesting to our listeners, but I'm just wondering, personally speaking, I grew up Catholic, and that was not a good experience.
Same.
And
I outgrew it.
yeah, yeah. And that kind of becomes a religious trauma. But then in my 20s, I got into woo-wooery.
Yeah.
And I got really into that, but then I also kind of went through a trauma with that. With things like terms like manifestation and law of attraction. Those are very triggering, bad terms to me. Does your meditation app like to use those sorts of phrases?
Manifestation might have come up, but I don't think it's an extremely common one.
Okay.
I that one doesn't bother me so much. Because I guess my mind goes to manifesting your destiny and that it's within your power to do that. And you don't have to rely on a man in a purple dress to do it for you, if you know what I mean. And then the kind of witchy thing comes in. And that would be another thing I would say to cope with what you were talking about emotionally. Tossing the tarot just makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I have quite a collection now. I was talking with some of my students about this the other night. They were asking, and I must have at least 10 different decks that I've accumulated over the years, and I rotate them. I find that sometimes I outgrow some, or some are more pertinent at different points in my life. And okay, yeah. And then others feel, okay, this is spot on right now. And what's interesting is a lot of people that know that I like to use them, all of a sudden will come out of the woodwork and I'll get gifted a new deck, and it'll magically appear just when I'm looking for one.
So last week I actually had a tarot reader on the show.
Ooh.
Have you ever done professional tarot reading?
Yes, I have.
What was your experience of that?
Probably my first few experiences. I mean, I remember going to a woman out in California where it was kind of mixed. Like, I felt like she wasn't recommended or anything, and I just kind of waltzed in, and she had the neon palm hand in the window, and it wasn't really resonating. Like, she was saying things about me that were really off.
Oh, so this was someone doing your tarot for you. Oh, okay.
Oh, you're talking about have I done it?
Yeah.
Well, I've done readings for people before.
Yeah.
I don't know if
not strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly for people I know that ask. And I feel comfortable enough to do that. They're supposed to put their own intentions and energies into them anyway, and I'm just kind of a conduit. I don't know if I call myself professional. It's not like it's something you'd necessarily get a
I think when
degree
you're
in.
professional, you're professional because you're making a living off of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
That I am not.
So you're also a person who has a podcast or podcasts. What are your podcasts and what are they about?
Well, one of my podcasts kind of related to what we're talking about. It's very near and dear to my heart is Women Who Howl at the Moon. And it focuses on a different fierce, fearless female every month. And I've interviewed people all over the States, even across the pond to the UK by phone. And a lot of them have an artistic background and are witchy-minded, Wiccan-leaning, New Agey, shall we say. And they always have interesting things to say. And one of my favorite questions to ask all the guests, as you know, because you've guested on the show, is what are you howling about lately, good or bad, literally or figuratively? And I always get some interesting answers.
Well, Colleen, this is the moment. What are you howling about at this moment, good or bad?
Oh boy. The good, I would say, is to encourage everyone to hold on to their creativity and fight for it for dear life, and their freedom to express themselves through their creativity and their chosen art, or however they choose to do that. We all have some creativity in us, even people who say, oh, I have no creativity. Yes, you do. We all do. You just haven't maybe explored it or tapped into
Or accepted it.
A
lot of people
yes.
are highly creative, but they just don't recognize their creativity as a form of creativity.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's kind of like giving yourself permission to do that and letting yourself play and explore that side of yourself. As far as one of my howling about that's driving me crazy, I usually I don't do it as much in public anymore, but the current state of politics is just sending me off the deep end lately. And most people I talk to and am close to that feel the same way and are having that level of frustration, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to find positive ways to deal with what's going on right now in our country.
What's one way that you release some of that steam?
Journaling. Big fan of just writing totally uncensored. My favorite is it's a technique from Julia Cameron, the morning pages from The Artist's Way, where you just free form first thing in the morning, or really you can do it any time of day, and just 3 pages straight. Don't hold back. Just let it all out. And sometimes I'll get really passionate. I'll actually, so much so I'll rip a hole in the page, but then it's out there and I'm not holding on to it. And I think, again, just putting it out there in your creative work, whatever that is, to help others. It feels almost a little rebellious these days to be kind,
Mm-hmm.
to spread that as much as possible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's a very enemy territory everywhere you go. You're either with us or you're against us, and there's no
In between.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, and even if you're on the same side, if you so much differ from a fine bullet point within our long list of values.
Yes. Then we don't know about you.
Right. What's the other podcast you work on?
That is Savage Support Stories, and that is all about a local nonprofit called Savage Support. They do really wonderful work. It's headed up by my good friend Deanna Savage, and it's for breast cancer survivors and thrivers. And they provide all kinds of services that health insurance does not cover, that people don't think about for people going through treatment. Like, it can be exhausting with chemo and radiation treatments, and having someone help clean the house, like house cleaning services, go out and buy healthy groceries. It can also be very costly. So someone recently needed some tires replaced on her car, and they assisted with that. And you can shop and pick out what service would be best for you, or self-care, like a massage or Reiki or the pampering things that people don't stop to think about, but can be so important in the healing process, and saying, yes, I deserve this. Yes, I'm important enough to need this, and give myself that.
Yeah. That's
they
really
do
important.
some great work, and they just celebrated their 10th year. So
yeah. Is that, if I may ask, is that a disease you've experienced?
Personally, no, but it does run in my family. So it does, it is something I'm very aware of. Both my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, and my mother dealt with it and survived. So it's definitely on my radar, and people close to me have also grappled with it. So I care very much about it, and it feels good to be talking about, getting rid of I think the stigma is getting less and less. It used to be in my grandmother's time, and we've talked about this on that podcast before, kind of a taboo subject that women were made to feel uncomfortable talking about.
Yes.
And a big goal of that podcast is to get rid of that stigma and encourage women to speak their truth and not be afraid.
Well, even before the show, I warned you, one of the words we are not allowed to say, and I'm not going to say it.
And I won't either.
Is a synonym for the word breast.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Or as Sister Wendy, who had an art history show on PBS in the 90s, used to say, breasts. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, okay. So, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a creative assignment for us?
I do. Let's see. I would suggest if listeners would like to participate in this, to pick your favorite medium, even crayons or clay, and spend at least a half an hour looking in the mirror and doing a self-portrait. And this could be abstract too. I mean, you could, even if you don't think you're artistic, give it a try. Do a little soul searching, and then journal about it and see what comes up for you emotionally. And if there are certain themes or certain things that surprise you, I would imagine there would be. It's hard for a lot of us. We're all our own worst self-critics, right?
Yeah.
Looking in the mirror and doing a little bit of that soul searching. If things come up, read that back after you've written it out and say, maybe this is something I could work through a little bit more or address.
I like that. And if I may, I'm going to make the suggestion to listeners, if you're doing this assignment, give yourself the permission to suspend judgment until it is time to write.
Yes.
When it is time to draw or form the clay or what have you, just aim for a feeling, the feeling of what you're feeling right now, and don't judge what is coming out, because even people who draw all the time don't necessarily like what they're drawing as they draw it. You must divorce yourself from perception of it if you can.
Yes.
And then when it feels done, you'll know it'll feel done. Then you look at it with a judging eye.
Agreed. I like. Thank you for adding that in. That's
Yeah.
a very good point.
It just seemed important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're a witchy person with a Wiccan leanings.
Mm-hmm.
It was recently Halloween. How
Yes.
did you observe that holiday?
Well, I did one of my favorite things that I like to do. We got about 3 different pumpkins and just carved them all up. And we never, my partner Andy and I, we never decide or tell each other what we're going to do ahead of time. And we just kind of go to town and we, take the seeds out and wash them and bake them the same night, because those are so much better than the ones already baked that you can buy in the store. And watch scary movies and toss some tarot cards by candlelight. And the scary movie part and the tarot card, granted, I mean, it doesn't have to be Halloween for me to enjoy or indulge those things, but kind of just giving myself a whole day to just overindulge and listen to spooky music and, spending more time looking outside and appreciating the change of colors with the leaves and all that, and just kind of soaking that all in.
Did you observe any costumery this year?
I did. The weekend before, it was kind of weird because it seemed like more people celebrated the weekend before, even though it fell on a Friday this year, than the actual date of Halloween. So the Friday before, we were invited to co-host. My partner's ex-wife was actually had trick-or-treat on her block. So we went over there, and my stepdaughter was there, and step-granddaughter, and all the kids. And we alternately handed out candy and scared them. Because she had a little mini graveyard going on in her driveway. I mean, she went all out. And so Andy was Ed Gein.
Oh, wow. That's scary.
Scary lady's face mask and all flannels, like hunter outfit. And we didn't really plan it this way, because I had already wanted to be Norman Bates' mother with the skull mask and the little old lady wig and dress. And so we'd stand on the front yard, kind of mixed in with the decorations, and be very still. And then all of a sudden we'd just turn our heads very slowly as the kids went by, or quickly, and kind of wave at them and creep them out. And I think we were sort of the hit of the block. They'd come back again and again, and eventually gave us fist bumps and things like that. So
I love that.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
I was bowling. I dressed up as bowling.
How do you dress up as bowling?
So I went to the thrift store and I didn't know what I was going to walk out with, and I wasn't finding anything, and I was about to give up, and I walked past the toy section and I saw a lightweight bowling set for children. And like the pins are life size.
Yeah,
the
perfect.
bowling balls are slightly smaller than what you would use, but they're all hollow. So I just tied all of the pins to my woven skirt, and then I had a bowling pin skirt, and then I strung the bowling ball on a necklace, and voila, I was the essence of bowling.
I love it. Where did you go to a party, or did you?
I did. I went to a couple of parties. The party of note was a Dante's Inferno themed party, and each of the floors was a different floor. So there was hell on the ground floor. There was
the 7 circles.
There was purgatory on the next floor.
I love
there
it.
was heaven on the top floor, and they
might have to steal that.
Oh, they had a room where you could record confessions. It was just a dark room, and at all times a microphone was going.
Oh my gosh.
And you just sit in the dark room. You can't see anything, and you just confess, and then everybody who went to the party is going to get a recording of their confessions.
I love it. I love it. What a great theme, a great idea. And, just incidentally, we were both talking about the horrors of being brought up Catholic. I was terrified of confession.
Yeah.
I think I wound up making something up to say to the priest for my formal confession, like, I lied once or something.
Yeah.
But I was having so much stress about it.
Well, it's an
leading up to it.
enclosed space with a strange man.
I know.
And priests don't have the best track record now that we know
not so
of.
much. And you're supposed to tell them your deepest, darkest secrets. It's like, come on, I don't even know this person. This is horrible. A lot
of them just were scuttled into this thing at 18 and told they were special, chosen by God.
Yeah.
I mean, the egos. I mean, there's some good priests out there. Don't get me wrong.
Sure,
but you never know what you're going to get.
This is true. This is definitely true.
So you are now deep into your practice as a writer.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel it compares to what you expected it to be when you were younger?
The way I think I could best describe it is when I was younger, especially like teen to early 20s, I was definitely a pie in the sky idealist. And after being out in the real world and trying to make a living completely as a writer, and I've written in just about every different medium there is, articles, blogs, for podcasts, screenplays, regular plays, et cetera, fiction, nonfiction, you name it, I've tried it. After experiencing a lot of that, I probably scaled myself back to an optimist. I always think of the scale as kind of idealist, optimist, realist, pessimist. And I probably won't ever be a complete realist because I don't know that it's in my nature.
I don't think it's in a lot of artists' nature.
No. Yeah. I mean, and that kind of helps, right?
We invent worlds.
Yes. It helps us cope.
Yeah. If we were realists, we would have been mathematicians.
Mm-hmm.
We would have been scientists.
And that's so not me.
Yeah. I love that scale. I'm going to have you illustrate it later for me because I need to refer to that in future. So the four states are what's the top state?
Idealist.
Idealist, that's heaven. And then what's below heaven?
Optimist.
Okay. And then what's below optimist? Realist. And what's below realist? Pessimist. And we all fluctuate from these levels. We don't live in any particular level forever.
This is true.
Yes.
This is true.
Cool. I like that. Any archetypes you've been really feeling of late?
I would say magician.
The fool with all the tools.
Yeah, the idea that you can, and again, I keep coming back to the embracing the creativity and that side, and being flexible and willing to reinvent yourself, and reminding yourself that you have the power to do that.
Even if you don't know where you're going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going with the flow and making it up as you go.
But using experience and built up skill to know that something will happen.
Yeah, and I think from time to time rebel too.
Yeah, tell me about the rebel.
I have a problem with authority. I have a
Hi, Colleen. Me too.
Yeah. I bristle at misguided authority, and I have no tolerance for bullies. So bullies beware and get out of my way. I just don't, as time goes on, I have less and less patience for certain authoritarian things and bureaucratic red tape and stuff like that. So I just thought of something completely unrelated.
What do you need to tell me?
I wanna give a shout out to the musical I'm working on, because that's what I'm most excited about.
Oh yes,
writing-wise.
please tell us about that.
It's a Stephen King parody called Shining in Misery, a king-size parody, and it has over 150 references to all things King, and we've had a couple productions of it so far, and we're very excited. We just had a Halloween blitz of reels recently.
Okay.
If you go to shininginmisery.com, we have a website, and please check it out, because we're looking for producers.
Okay, so you don't have a location for the next iteration of it yet?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
But if you check on the website, we will definitely keep you posted.
So it's like a medley of Stephen King stories?
Oh, yeah. It's a love letter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has Stephen King seen it?
Not that I know of yet, but my dream is to one day have him sitting in the front row laughing his butt off. That's a goal. That's a life goal.
Yeah. Does anyone have any ability to contact his people?
I think we want to get at least one more big production under our belts, and then reach out and say,
to verify that it's good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Where has it been before?
World premiere Wisconsin, with Capital City Theater, put it on at the Overture in 2023, and it did really, really well there. And then last year we took it to 54 Below in New York City for a concert performance. And the Pope of Broadway himself, Lin-Manuel Miranda, came and graced us with his presence.
Wow.
And did laugh a lot.
Oh, well, then you'll be okay.
I hope we'll be okay. I would hope so.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good indication.
Yeah. Okay. So I have two more questions.
Okay.
What is magic?
Magic is transformation and things that are wonderful that can't be explained. Weird and wonderful.
And how is it different from art?
I think the two are very intertwined. I was thinking about this, and they kind of play off of each other, and art is magic. It can come from a magic place. Okay.
I like that. Well, this was Anja Asks Anybody with guest Colleen DuVall. Is there any place that people can find your stuff?
As I mentioned, the shininginmisery.com. There's samples of all my work on my LinkedIn page.
Great. Thanks for coming on today. We'll catch you next week.
Yeah. This was awesome. I had a blast.
Yay.